me is exciting to say. I like sharing that because you're doing so much good for the community, and people don't all recognize it. And it's nice to be able to share, and to celebrate. Now, here's the thing. For 30 years, I've been fighting police brutality. I was asked to make sense of songs like Fuck the Police and Cop Killer. I was the Godfather, right? They say, oh, Russ, you and them niggas are yours, right? And look what they're doing. Ice-T had Cop Killer, and we had these revolts. And no one understood because there weren't as much video, but black people, of course, all understood the abuse. And even black people, for a moment, needed clarification. So what did we
Mm-hmm.
do? We told the truth, and there were moments where, like we've had so many since the last 30 years, we've had many moments where we discussed police brutality.
Yeah.
And I've been involved in many, many police sensitivity trainings because that's all they
Yeah.
ever gave us. They put niggas in a room and they say, okay, police sensitivity, and then they'd hire Captain Dennis or members of the Nation of Islam. It was Captain, many of them over the years, but mostly over the last 20 years, 15 years, been Captain Dennis. They would hire him and bring him into New Orleans, Philadelphia, Detroit, Columbus, various different places, even New York Police Commissioner Kelly at one point. So they always brought us in, and him in specifically. I say us because I was always part of the coalition that supported the efforts, but he
Right.
did the work. And sensitivity training, some of it was honest and intentional, and some of it was just to pacify the community. And in every case, a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that has made the biggest difference, that has allowed so many black people to die without any repercussion, the one thing is prosecutors. That black, that sister that thought she's going to prosecute somebody in Baltimore. Do you remember everybody thought she was such a
Yes.
hero?
Yes.
It's the same, Erica. It's the same. It's like you don't have to be, there's no new solution. It's the old one that they never do. They never do it. And they discuss it. There's a moment where we have this discussion. Say, yeah, maybe we can figure out some independent bullshit.
Facts. We got to prosecute these folks. You went out. You silent. Russell is in Bali. He's coming to us live from Bali, and so obviously his connection went, and so he was in the midst of telling us about his plan to empower folks to build outside prosecutors, so that this is what's gonna happen. Shut up. So that the police can be held accountable, that the police can't be held accountable by themselves. So we can't have the police policing the police. They don't relate to us in that manner. And they don't hold themselves accountable. And so we need to have, like what he's saying, the special prosecutors. I think that we need to also defund them. I think that that also we need to set up ways to invest and have our own people take care of us in our community, like that brother was saying. We have to build our own thing. Like, we can't go back after this coronavirus and think that we're going back to business as usual. We can't go back to business as usual. It can't be a thing where we think that we're just going to go to their stores and go to their things and just invest and invest and invest. We need our own hospitals. We need our own cultural training centers. We need our own spaces so that we can, invest and pour into our children all the love that they need, all the resources, because it's not that anything is wrong with our kids besides the fact that they lack resources. And so if we can get them the resources that they need, they can strive with much success, but we have to invest in ourselves. And be able to carry our community to the other side. And it's just plain and simple. There's no other way. We cannot keep going on as business as usual. We can't go on. Let's tell Russell to come back. Somebody, I think his service died. He's here trying to FaceTime on the other side. Um, but this is a 24-hour live, so we here for 24 hours. So y'all are here at the top. So y'all see me fresh and ready to go. Outside psychologists tested on a regular basis, and prosecutors. It has to civilians appointed by the thing. In New Zealand, we have our own meeting house. What is that? What is a meeting house? Um, Meeting house. Yeah. So let's get ready for at 7 o'clock. I'm gonna be on the Ebro in the morning, and so we're gonna do that together, y'all. We're gonna talk to Ebro and the crew in the morning. So, okay, here to Russell. Russell's back. All
Let me
right.
finish before.
Yes.
Listen, Erica, I know that I read that Bob Johnson wants full reparations. I know that Black people want all kinds of sensitivity trainings and all kinds of reparations and repair of, and disbanding the police union and take it. I also think we should take, of course, we should, in cases where policemen are guilty of infractions, they should lose their pensions and all that stuff. Yeah, I have a list, but on that list, the number one thing that I believe we can accomplish at this moment is getting separate prosecutions. I've been talking to congressmen, congresswomen, and I want someone to write that bill. And the only way it's going to happen is if the people get behind it. So I sent it to Snoop, and I sent it to Killer Mike, and I sent it to 50. I sent it to people with big mouths, so that we can. And I'm going to send it to everybody. And everybody's got to, I don't want to discount. I can't say hip hop once, even though I wrote hip hop once. I put it on my Instagram. I said hip hop once. It's something I've been working on for 30 years. It's not something that I've been dedicated only to or only for, but it's something I know that will change the dynamics. And the second thing that has to do with police accountability is the nigga next to you. You can't sit next to somebody
Right.
and watch them do criminal actions and then not be responsible. Your job is to protect and serve, and you're sitting there watching somebody break the law, and you are then criminal by allowing them to break the law. So we have to have a separate, there's two laws, part of one bill, or two things. One, that you are accountable. I don't know what the hell waiting for Keith. I know Keith Ellison since we first honored him when he first put his hand on the Quran. And as we worked with Muslims, that. So I've known him as a just person. And the fact that they do have a separate prosecutor in this one case, the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, is great. But what we really want is every case, in every time that a policeman is accused of misconduct, I want to get it out of the local prosecutor's hands because they have no power. If they do open their mouth, they're going to lose their job. And that one Black woman who had the courage to do it, she lost her job. They discredited her. They said she did a shit job. I don't know if she did a good or bad job. I know she did what no prosecutor would have done. She took the case.
Yeah.
And then I ain't heard from her since. I'm asking around now as I'm paying attention now, man. I don't know where the fuck she is. I'm sure she's somewhere, but she was discredited. She didn't get her man. The police never get caught. They never go to jail.
Right.
And her prosecution, they say she did a bad job. How bad a job is it? They threw them niggas in the car. They drove them around, pounded them around until they died.
Yeah.
And she charged them appropriately, which was shocking.
Yeah.
Remember, that was shocking that all she did was do her job, but it was shocking because no one does their job.
Yeah. But the other thing is that we didn't stand behind, like the city didn't go up for that, like the nation. I'm saying,
no one stood behind her.
Right.
And so for me, one win, a shift in policy, a change, a legislation that makes the cop next to the cop guilty as being an accomplice, and the one law that makes the prosecutor from outside prosecutors, some office that's separate from, that is about police accountability, and they get bonuses based on putting niggas in jail. And they don't lose their job as prosecutors. They should not be paid for. They should not be elected officials, and they should not be also even when they're under the guidance of an elected official. The police are also in charge of the mayor. Can't nobody say much of nothing. There's no bigger, powerful, monetized unit than the police unions. Nothing more. They got all the money on the planet. They got more money than 10 George Soroses.
Yes. Oh, okay.
The
So,
Koch brothers. They have more money than Koch brothers.
so one of all of that is good. That's for the other folks outside of us, right? And that should happen, right? But
What are we talking about today? I wrote a book
about how internally we take care of ourselves. We show love for
I wrote a book.
Support each other. You know, in particular,
That's different.
They cut off summer youth programming for young people in New York City and a lot of other cities. And so we're here today to raise as much money as we can to hire as many young people as we can this summer. And to show us how we can take care of ourselves. You know, like one of the sisters here said that Baltimore supported her, but the people did support Baltimore on a long-term basis. Right?
I ain't got what niggas think I got, but I'll send you a little money. But listen.
No, it's not about you.
We need, no, I know it is a little bit. Yes, it is. But listen, Erica, we gotta, I know that we have so many pressing issues. I know that there will be violence this summer. Remember the program I said I'm going to set up? I'm setting it up. It's set. I'm going to go out with it soon. And 100% of what I earn, I'm going to give back to the nonviolence programs in our communities. 100%, at least for now, till because they messed me up a little bit, but not so bad that I can't give away. I'm building this company, Pace, and I'm going to go take it out in the next 3 weeks, and it's finally going to get started. I told you I would do that. And I really want to find a way to get independent money into these programs so that you don't have to be so reliant on, and you're lucky enough to be reliant on, and the rest of the programs around the country, they don't got nothing. They can't,
right.
they count on the community to pay for them. So, and I know that the mayor is giving you some money. You're not that fucked up as everybody else is, but we need to police ourselves, and we need communities who can not only police ourselves but support the more wholesome survival of our community, which is what you really do. You don't police. You're not there to police people. You're there to help people be healthy mentally and spiritually, and that's really what you've done. And I've watched it, and I'm proud of it. So I know you do that. So that's one thing. But the other thing is, I'm very concerned with our health. And I wrote a book called Eat to Live. I wrote it in 5 weeks. Right in the middle of writing the book, my best friend in the entire world died.
Yes.
I yelled at him the day before he died, as I had been yelling at him for the last 25 years about his diet. And I worry that the reason we have these pre-existing health conditions is 100% our diet.
Yes.
And I worry that if we don't shift, like Corona will come back next year. I lost 10 friends. I lost 10 people. You're from Queens. We're the only ones that can recognize this. Now, you can't tell nobody you lost 10 friends here in Bali. Or when I go back to LA, I tell people I lost 10 friends. They look at me with a blank expression. They don't understand. But from Queens, we lost friends that we came up with. And it is our diet, because we've left ourselves open, whether it's a heart disease or it's any of the pre-existing health conditions can be reversed and can be made better. So I wrote the book. It's called Eat to Live, a post-pandemic lifestyle. I'm going to give away that profit too, if I ever make any on it. I might. Some of my books have made profit, and I've given away chunks of money in the past. So we'll see what happens this time. But this book is necessary for us. I stole the name from Elijah Muhammad. Right. I told it to Minister Farrakhan, you ain't mad, are you? He said, no, brother, because how to eat to live. But now it's called Eat to Live. And it amounts to, the fact is, that there's a million things. I also put 35 menus in there, and the names of the books I stole the menus from. I mean, not the menus, the
recipes.
The recipes. So I stole them. One book I got 10 of the menus from. Or maybe it's 40. Is a soul food book, and it's a vegan soul food. Eat to Live, and the post-pandemic lifestyle also includes some of the exercises that will get our circulation going, because we need to do some kind of workout. If we don't do workout, we should do the simple things that I'm recommending just to get circulation and to get a decent diet. It'll make all the difference in the world. So when Corona comes back, we don't want to lose a lot of people, and no more family members. Please, God, no more.
That is of extreme importance, because we can't even be out here in these situations. without being healthy. We can't outrun. We can't stay up all night. Like I'm staying up 24 hours, and people like, how you do it? You know, because I eat right. You know, I take care of myself, and so
You,
therefore,
you know, people don't know. They don't know that black people are 3 times more likely to be vegan than their white counterparts. That we, because of our West Indian culture, and also because we have such a high rate of sickness and these pre-existing healthcare conditions, some of us have taken to the diet to change our lives and save our lives. So because we're so at risk. At the same time, of course, we are the ones at risk because we are the ones who ignore the diet. But we are 3 times more likely I addressed obviously the pricing issue.
right.
People
And
think
what
that
the
it
sister
costs.
Gina says, black people don't have access to fresh food, which is so true. It's so
Of
true.
course, I addressed the food deserts that we live in.
I got
Who
quarantined in Newport Beach in California. And so the quality of food over there compared to now that I'm back home in Jamaica, Queens, is like there's no quality food over here. Like it's you I'm not gonna say you forced to eat a certain way, but it's we do need to start
it's
planting
a
and growing our own backyards as
I
well. You
got
know,
that in
we
there too. I wrote about all that and how to do it and how to run out of a flower pot off a fire, not fire, but yeah, fireplace. Um, what do you call them when you go outside by your window in the projects? Fire escapes.
oh the
How
fire
would you?
escape.
I'm so stupid. You know, I took drugs as a child, Erica. Anyway, um, there's
Yeah.
so much we can do, and it can be fun and it can be exciting, even in the projects, even in the most difficult situations, to create menus for ourselves and
Yeah.
find these recipes and build it. And the next thing you know, it'll be a pleasure. You know, it'll be literally a pleasure to have a new diet, to feel better and to be happy and to find out how you lose all this weight. One of the things I also talked about is intermittent fasting, because we eat, and that's why Eat to Live is an appropriate title, because if we don't, I don't eat until 12:30 in the afternoon. I get up early in the morning, so I got 6.5 hours with no food. I drink water. I have a small espresso. I drink apple cider vinegar, and I don't eat no food. And 12 o'clock, I drink a celery juice. Everybody can't have a fresh celery juice all the time in the morning, okay? But I do that celery juice, and then I wait. There's other digestive things you can do, take an enzyme or whatever. And then at 12:30, I eat. And you know, I eat like I like spicy food. I'm hood. I'm from, I used to eat like, so it's so much to eat. And there's so many ways to eat.
Right.
And we just don't know it. And there's
Right.
ways that we could do it cheap too. A lentil loaf is not more expensive than a beef loaf. It just tastes better. And what happens is in a minute, your taste palates change. And you don't want to eat
Yes.
poison.
Yes. And I am definitely, you know, between you and Kepra, and this sister that works with us, Tracy Queen, definitely
Yeah.
got on the right path in terms of eating. And I would go in the store and call myself sneaking buying some big chocolate cake, and it would sit there until it spoils because I don't have the appetite for it no more, you know. And so it's definitely something that, and I'm all right. Like I really have
It's
shifted
habit. It's habit, babe. It's not. They say, "Oh,
off.
Russell, you're so." They try to tell me that I'm so disciplined. No, I like my diet.
Right.
It's like once you start doing something that's healthy or good for you, and you do it regularly, it becomes routine. And what they call discipline is just routine, and it's easy to have a routine, But you have to, it'll take a month. It'll take 3 weeks of doing it every day. It'll take, and then the fun part about this discovering all the great things you can eat. It's fun. And it's just
Yes.
a little bit of a shift, but it does require a little bit of focus. But if you don't want to die of COVID next year, this time, begin now. Begin to shift your diet and build up your immune system. It doesn't take long. I mean, literally in a few weeks, you start feeling like a different person. And in a
That's
year, you can't believe how much you've changed.
healthy diet, healthy mind. That's right.
Yep.
That's
So
definitely
the book teaches you the same shit. All my books. People say you write all these books. How do you get so much information? It's the same information. Only difference is I did address each of the pre-existing health conditions that Black people have and what food addresses them. But aside from that, yes, I teach you to meditate. It's very easy, and there's enough pages on that. Yes, I teach you to eat, and then I also teach you little bits of physical things that you can do, and I teach you about spiritual matters that make it easy. Because every one of these choices, these spiritual choices, these physical choices, any one of these choices that God put in front of you that's good for you, only feel like a burden when you begin. They became, I keep reminding people, it becomes your routine. And then you can move on to something else. It's one thing at a time, obviously. First thing you need to do is stop eating animals.
Right.
It's the cause of all your sickness. It's the cause of how you don't feel good, and you're not alert, and you're not smart, you're not happy. It's a load off your mind when you stop poisoning yourself every day.
And so to just close it out, because I'm getting ready to do Ebro in the morning at 7:00, so I have him on my Zoom. But I just wanted to say that in terms of loving your life, in terms of loving your children, two things that Russell said is, one, that we have to get those independent prosecutors. We got to get a whole system that can, I'm not going to say police the police, but hold the police accountable to do their job, and hold
Yes.
police accountable to the point that you can't stand, there's no silent standbyers and watch racism and death and murder take place, and you just be silent and you can continue to get away with it. And so that's two things. And then the other thing is, the way you eat is the way you show your love for your life, is the way you show
Absolutely.
children. Because if we start to invest in our children with quality health care and quality food, and just making sure that they're not eating all of them sugars and dairy and milk like he's talking about, then their
Oh,
whole will be different. The way they interact with themselves, the way they interact with you, the school, the way they learn, the way they adapt will be different. And it's part of what we're saying when we talk about loving our life, when we talk about sharing love, that's what we're talking about. It's a holistic thing. And so we're going to talk about many different levels.
thank you for allowing me to come on and talk about these issues that are so dear to my heart. And I also say one last thing to the people. People, if you're feeding your kid poison, you can sacrifice for your child. Just think of it in those terms. Because when you say, "Oh, I used to eat Wonder Bread," your Wonder Bread didn't have 30 times the amount of fructose corn syrup that this Wonder Bread has. It's just bad. And Erica, thank you again. And let's
Thank
just try
you.
to uplift our community through a good diet and a healthy mindset. And bless you, and thank you for all the good work you do in the community. I
Thank you,
love
bro.
you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Bye.
You heard that. We got to eat right. We got to live different. We got to get ready. No, it's not about. It's your percentile, your 1%, 2%, 3%. Is also, yes. We need to build wealth in our community. We need to definitely establish that, but also
down according to NYPD. That's all that was. And then him and somebody else was shooting at each other.
Okay, so we're gonna tune in now.
They say he had a gun, wouldn't put his gun down,
We're gonna
and
do.
They told him several times.
Ebro in the morning, y'all.
10 officers unloaded on him. 10.
10 officers.
I was confused why it wasn't on the news last night, but it was all over Twitter. Well, that's something.
Well, the news doesn't run at night. That's why it wasn't.
And by the way, I was referring to Scotty Beam, who literally the second the Dykeman thing happened just turned into how much he hates Dykeman and how racist it is. Tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet. Oh, that's not what we need to do. Cass One just tweeted, "Hey, my fellow Dominicans, you're black." That's the tweet. That's it. That's the tweet.
Facts.
I just don't think everyone needs to fall right for the let's hate each other.
Scotty's always had issues with Latinos.
Right. Then there's that.
So we get ready to do
It's on Twitter.
Ebro in the morning, y'all.
There's like 4 or 5 black people walking towards.
We're gonna have this conversation.
No, we don't know. But they could have also been Dominican.
Tonight, I mean, let's get ready. Part of our 24-hour live, we're going to talk to Ebro in the morning, Ebro and the crew. All right. So y'all going to do that with me? What's up, Latoya? But what Russell was saying was important, y'all. how we eat, how we carry ourselves. It has a direct impact. I see you, Queen. Stay on here so I can, after I do this, yeah, it's Gun Violence Awareness Month. That's right. All right, stay tuned, y'all. Let's do this. So, tell me what's going on, folks, as we get ready. Diet has a direct impact. It's very important for us to do for us. It's a lot of good information this morning so far. It's a lot of great information. All right, let's go. Is it only? It only just started. That's right. Definitely. So while they get ready, we'll keep talking. Anna Williams, you giving the world your number? All right. So this is the Hot 97 crew. Peace.
Flashing lights, more staff. Time. Let's go, man. That's not what you wanted to do. That's not exactly what you wanted, right? Shiny.
See, I got all my tonics. So in order for me to, the aloe, my aloe's beat up, but got the golden seal. Oh, let's see my brother Ebro.
Guys, so over the weekend was, it's a lot of news that's been coming in.
You know, we got a oregano, herbal. This is when you love your life. We got my breath of life right here. Queen of Four. Gotta stay healthy.
Was a direct cause of death. He said it was a combination of asphyxia and underlying conditions, including hypertension and possible drugs or alcohol, but it was asphyxia, the one, because, during the first autopsy, they were trying to deny all that. They were just trying to blame it on underlying conditions. So they basically lied.
Examiner lied. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Yep. Anytime, and just remember, these medical examiners, they protect their cops too.
So he was just very clear. He was like, look, George Floyd was responsible for 4 minutes in, yet the cop kept his knee for nearly 5 minutes longer after that. He was in good health. No medical condition contributed to his death. He said that, George Floyd was deprived of blood flow to his brain. And he also says George Floyd couldn't breathe, something he repeatedly said when he was dying. And he basically, was like, it's not that if you can talk, you can breathe. It's not the case.
Yo, and the other thing that reports are saying now, the Asian dude that was standing there, Chow.
Yep.
He's on the run. He left.
What does that mean, bro?
Yes, that means he fled Minneapolis. He's on the run. That's what they're saying. What? They're criminals.
And he also had a crazy past of abuse.
Wow.
Yes, he had a crazy past of abuse.
Yo, and then here go the twist. I'm gonna keep saying this all morning. You dumbasses think, let's pull a National Guard up to New York City and start jamming these kids up on camera. You don't get The reason this is happening is because of an incident in Minneapolis, not an incident in New York City. Even though there's been multiple incidents in New York City and people are fed up. Don't believe for a second that if on camera we are seeing police abuse kids in the street. I just saw a video of the LAPD driving by and shooting rubber bullets at kids walking down the street in LA who were out slightly past 6 o'clock. They just drove by and started shooting them and chasing them. It was a legitimate drive-by. Someone hanging out the window. The police. This is why the protests keep going, you stupid dummy. So you want to bring the National Guard in here, who has zero expertise on the terrain of New York City, zero de-escalation training. It's not their job. That's not what their normal job is. They're like soldiers. And you think that this is going to quell the violence of looting and the protests in America?
Right.
That's your answer? Your answer to violence is more violence. That's why we are in this.
That's why we're here for a 24-hour day, live with love. Because violence cannot be.
Really wants to less violence, right? Or does he want a race war? Well, I'm specifically talking about Pat Lynch of the police union, and I'm talking about too. Yes, for National Guard. Yes, he's agreeing with Trump. Yes. Got it. Yeah. I thought you meant Trump specifically. He definitely wants more. I haven't heard Dermot Shea on the issue, but de Blasio is like absolutely not. And even Cuomo is like, we don't want to go there. That's not what we want to do. And last night there was significantly less violence, and Trump was still on Twitter bad-mouthing New York and how out of control it was and saying you need the National Guard, even though yesterday we all saw things were clearly slower than they were the night before. Your man is doing that on Twitter. Meanwhile, right out the gates of the house that you're living in, protesters are shaking the damn gates last night. Saw that too, yeah. Shaking the gates of the White House. So you talking about New York City. They standing out there basically with pitchforks and all that ready to come for your ass. Your ass hid in a bunker the other night.
Yo, he tear-gassed protesters, including a priest, just to get that photo up. What are you talking about?
Guys, he needed to go to church, okay? He had to go hold that meaningful book, that Bible that he cares about. So the Bible he's never read in front of a church he's never been to. I'll tell you right now.
That's right. We need to stay focused, Maria. That's right.
I thought it looked like it was
That's right. Don't let it Trump.
He didn't even know how to lift it up. His hands aren't big enough to hold
He's a toy.
It looked like my dad attempting to hold a tennis racket. Like, this is a dude who had never done this in his life. I love what Biden said, too. I wish he just opened it up and read it for 5 minutes or something.
That's your Flash and Lens report. The time is 7:05, high of 84 degrees. Guys, around 1 p.m., there's going to be 50% chance of thunderstorms for the rest of the day.
It's going to feel like summer all week. Which, is that good? Yeah. Some. If you want the protests to stop, expedite disciplining police officers. Yeah, that's it. Remember, people got time right now, bro. There's 40 million people not working. School's out. People got time to wear your ass out. And all we're going to keep seeing is this nonstop. Until y'all start expediting, disciplining cops. You can't just keep bullying the people. You cannot. It won't work. You know that Posey was messing with the Bible though was Hitler joint. Yeah, the other dude who said we should.
So that's gives an example. We got work to do, and if we don't.
Hi, Erica.
Oh wait.
Erica.
How are you guys doing this morning?
You know, zoning in.
I'm on my 24-hour live. I started at 6 o'clock.
Yo, you live right now, right?
It's
Violence Awareness Day. We just had a big shooting in Brooklyn, and guess who perpetuated most of the gun violence? Police. Now, granted, the individuals they was going after wouldn't put their guns down either and had an illegal gun. according to the police.
Yeah. That's why we need a ceasefire right now. We need a truce. We need a pause. Like, we can't, the brother that be with me, A.U. Hogan, Alana Stanton, who, his son, day before yesterday, going out into the store, stepped out of the car. The music so loud he wasn't paying attention, and got shot right in the head. And now he's in ICU. Also, two kids. These kids was in the middle, these kids was in the middle of a shootout. And he not paying attention, had the music so loud that he didn't hear the gunfire. And when he stepped out of his car, he stepped right into the line of fire. And then out here, like 5 minutes away, two little kids got executed. And so, like, we can't, and in Chicago, same thing. Now they got a beef, a war. All of this is fabricated too. It's part of the whole picture. But we have to have a ceasefire. Like, we can't deal with both the police and us killing each other at the same time. Like, we don't have the manpower. Like, we need a pause, a ceasefire, because we can't give them any reason to come into our hood. We got to take care of them right now. We can't deal with we can't deal with no black on black killing or any kind of in-house killing.
I mean, we never really can.
Right.
To be honest, but I want to ask these kids who's out here really busting off, who's paying them to bust off?
Facts.
Who's paying?
Facts, because some of them is dead ops, real ops. I know in Chicago for a fact, the way they did it, definitely wasn't anybody who's like a real official gang member or something. It was definitely just the state, that corporate, like, because they go and they, we saw the counterintelligence program. We know how it works, right?
I know. Look, even the killing of them kids who were allegedly, what'd you say?
Last night?
No, not last night. Not those two guys shooting at each other. The execution style of them other two kids.
Oh, yes.
That was the other night, right?
Yes, that was 2 days ago.
That's ops, man.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and there's a lot going on, and we got to be real focused, yo. We got to be real focused, because there's a lot, people trying to lead us into doing stuff that I'll say that.
Bro, we going up for 4. Congrats. Yes. We're trying to record it. All right, let's record. Hit record. Erica, what up?
You, how you been? I haven't seen y'all since coronavirus.
Staying low.
I know. I got stuck in California for 3 months. I couldn't even come back home.
What?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm back now, but I was stuck in California for 3 months.
So you didn't really get the full effect of how real this shit was out here.
Nope. And that's another reason why, folks say I got stuck, because I would have been right out there, probably caught the virus, and, because I can't watch suffering, But
Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, active on the ground, on the front lines. Today is Gun Violence Awareness Day, and currently, I think you're streaming right now live also all day today, right, Erica?
Correct. 24-hour live for love. Yes.
Erica Ford, who's been on the front lines in Queens in all sections, de-escalating, healing, finding solutions for the community and people out there dealing with violence and
Yes.
Traumatic stress disorders and young people who feel defeated. That's been her life's work. Today, what should we be doing as a part of Gun Violence Awareness Day?
One, in the midst of everything that's going on, we really need to stay focused, and just be aware of all the people that we've already lost and pay homage to them. And it's actually is kicking off now Gun Violence Awareness Month. It's the whole month. And so we want to do something every day that helps us save a life. And so what we're doing today is 24-hour live for love. And what we're saying is that we got to love our kids, that we see a lot happening to our kids. And it's not that our kids are bad. It's not that our kids are criminals. It's not that our kids are evil. It's that they don't have the resources and the investment of love that other people have in their communities, right? Our kids don't have access to quality schools and quality education and community centers and things to do. So when they're hanging out in front of the building, because that's their backyard, the police come and they harass them, or people call and say that there's too much noise. And so we have to invest in giving them something to do. People can wear orange. People can sign up to be a mentor. People can sign up to teach master classes. What is this?
I thought I had orange on my shirt. I think that's more of a tangerine. Maybe even salmon. This, Erica, where can people sign up to be mentors?
At Life Camp Inc. People can go to our website and sign up. People like you guys can sign up to teach master classes during the summer, because what we're trying to do is hire as many people as we can to work during the summer, as young people, because as y'all know, in New York City, in New York State, they canceled summer jobs. They canceled summer youth programs.
Well, that's official because the budget was $7 billion deficit. They canceled summer jobs. That's done.
Correct.
Oh, yet another reason.
Yes.
Why people are out in the street.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Which is another reason why we got to take care of our own, because we know that
another reason why it's going to be easy for the ops to pay these kids to shoot at each other so that they can kill them.
Yes.
Erica, how are you going to handle things like master classes and things where mentors can get together with kids? How are you going to handle it with COVID?
So what we've been doing is Zoom classes. And so we give the young people stipends to come on Zoom. And so we've been having young people who wouldn't normally come on a Zoom. We taught them how to use Zoom. They put down their guns and picked up their computers and are on Zoom, learning how to be. So one of the things that's happening now is offices and buildings have to be disinfected. And so we're doing classes on training them how to get those jobs, how to be
paying too.
Yes, they have to make offices social distance offices now. So they're learning how to do those things first and foremost. We're also going to be hiring some credible messages and young people just how to go out and hand out masks and keep people in social distancing areas, so that they don't catch the virus, because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, in the midst of all of this other stuff that's going on.
Erica, what kind of response are you getting? Are kids open to it? Do they want to come in? Because I know it's tough sometimes to try to convince them and try to introduce something new to them.
So, if you're giving them money, they're going to do mostly, they'll participate. The stipend is very important for the participation. Without the stipend...
Look, anybody out here doing stuff for free?
No, and neither are they. And so, because, it's a new thing. And so we gave them computers in partnership with Global Tops. We gave the young people computers, and now we're going to have the people teaching the classes. So we've been teaching, one, just getting them centered, leadership development and getting them ready. But we're going to be doing this, helping young people throughout the New York City. And, I know that I'm going to raise $1 billion today, because y'all are going to tell all your people, to come and support, because that's what we do. We raise money, right, y'all? And we're gonna hire these young people across the United States, because now if we look at a lot of other cities, like Minnesota and other cities, they're going to have to rebuild their cities. A lot of young people, definitely not going to have access to resources for those young people. And so we're going to have to do something for ourselves. And that's what we want to do. And then we're also looking to put a peace mobile in California. So Lauren London had came out here, and she came on the Peace Mobile, her and the Puma crew, and they were like, yo, we got to put one of these in LA. And so we're going to work with them to put a Peace Mobile in LA and help those people heal and help provide those services with the Peace Mobile.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Over Amazing. There as well.
If people want to make donations today to Life Camp, where do they go again?
Life Camp Inc. Live for Love. They can just go to Life Camp Inc. and they'll see the donate button, Life Camp Inc. Or they could come on my IG. We're on there all day. We have the donate button live, and we'll be on here all day, 24 hours on Erica Ford _ I Love My Life. And we got people like Jada Pinkett, Fat Joe, Mano, David Hogg from March for Our Lives, Deepak Chopra, Lenny S., Slow from Slow Bucks, a whole bunch of people coming on to be part of today and help us raise money.
We're honored that you included us as well.
Family.
Life Camp Inc., so y'all can make those donations. Now, Erica over in Queens, mostly no looting, positive protesting. You know, I heard that yourself and others at the, is it CARE? The CARE, what is those, the grassroots organization that operates in the city? I think it's an umbrella organization.
Oh, CMS.
Yeah,
Kill Violence. But Kill Violence, I think what CMS is. CMS. Yeah, we're the New York City Crisis Management System. The mayor keeps calling our name, right? You hear that, right?
Yeah. But, I mean, and not only him, but, you know, I was talking to Melinda Katz yesterday.
Okay. She'll be on in a little while.
She was saluting, she was just saluting how that has been the solution to eradicate individuals who are in the protest trying to cause problems and the de-escalation tactics.
Yeah, so we're going to be, like I said, the mayor has invested in the members of the crisis management just to hire credible messengers to deal with both the social, because before the protest, remember, we had the problem with the social distancing and they were beating people up for not wearing a mask or not practicing social distancing.
Which is another reason why these kids is in the street right now not listening to y'all police. It's because when they was doing the social distancing thing, y'all was roughing them up.
Correct.
And not handing out masks.
Correct.
And the Commissioner Shea tried to act like, oh, it's not racial. That on one side of town, everything's nice and hunky.
Correct.
Nobody's social distancing, y'all handing out masks. And in the other neighborhoods, y'all roughing people up.
Correct. So we had a 3-hour meeting with them, and the outcome is that we're going to do some marketing to make sure that people know, because that's the thing with the curfew. They think they could just tell people the curfew and like they know it's a curfew. And so a lot of people didn't know there was a curfew, and so, but they came to enforce the curfew in our community, And the curfew was made to protect us, quote unquote, just like social distancing is made to protect us. We can't come to in a situation where we're talking about protecting people with a state of violence and contempt. Like the look on their faces a lot of times when they in our community is that they hate us and they hate our kids. And that's why, we're doing a day of love, and not that we need to express love any further, because we know how to love each other, but people need to learn how to love us. They need to learn, if you're going to make money off of us and you're going to gain your employment and income in our tax dollars and coming into our community, then you can't come in like that. And if you do, they got to be fired quicker. Like, we got to stop holding them for such a long period of time. That cop who punched that girl when they were marching the other day, and the people that ran into people.
Yeah, that's Vincent DeAndrea and his inspector Craig Edelman.
They need to.
We on their head. And you too, Pat Monahan. We hearing some things about you.
Yeah, Pat Monahan's been there too long. Oh, Monahan. You talking about Chief Monahan?
Yeah, Chief Monahan.
What are you saying about him?
Hey, that's your people?
No, that's the police patrol. I think that they all need to learn. They got to learn to think different. They don't even, like, I've been having battles with them on ideology around they don't, like, some people don't even know what they don't know. and they so stuck in racist ways that just becomes embedded in you, you don't even realize what you're doing. And they need a radical rupture. The system is not working. It is not working. To put more police in the street and National Guards to protect and children who are angry about you killing them so that you can kill them more. Like, it don't, there's a girl you saw with the rubber bullet that got shot in her face. Like, so it's too much violence that is happening to our people in our community. And we got to shift that. We got to invest in our young people. We got to invest in peacekeepers and peacemakers in our community so that the police don't even have to come. Like, let's stop calling them for stuff. Let's like using them. Let's protect ourselves. Let's interrupt our own situations and mediate our own situations.
Well, listen, Erica is not like some wonky politician who gets up here and talks. She's actually a frontline person who's dealing with kids and making lives better. You can also go directly to piecesofthelifestyle.com.
Yeah.
And the donate button's right there. So I know a lot of people out there looking for ways to support the community. This is a great way to do it. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Erica Ford, today is Gun Violence Awareness Day, a part of Gun Violence Awareness Month. Erica Ford, thank you for your time.
Thank you guys. Thank you a lot. Love y'all. Shani. All right, y'all. So that's down. We did that. We did the... Hey, Tracy McGregor, what's up? How you doing? What's up, Mark? On a global scale, that's right. How y'all doing today? So we got Anthony, Citizens United. Thank you all for making your donations. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Haritos. Thank you, Voice of the Youth. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Jay Morales. Jay, she's out here in Queens. First Star Gazer, thank you for your donation. Shanice, thank you for your donation. Katie, thank you for your donation. Vanelia, thank you for your donation. Ty, Kerry, Akeem, thank you for supporting. Looking for Citizens United. Eddie Stearns, what's up? How's that? So we here 24 hours, y'all. Haru lady, thank you. She supports us so much. Eddie said this ain't his time zone. So Anthony Smith from Citizens United is coming on next. We're here for 24 hours. It's a 24-hour live for love. And the purpose of the live is so that we can bring attention to what is going on in our neighborhood. And our young people are not animals. Our young people are not violent and criminals. Okay, right on, Eddie. Our young people need people to invest in them. They need support and resources. And so we're here today, 24 hours to raise funds and get the word out and bring attention to what it is that that is needed for our for young people. Straight ahead, Ebro, for supporting. Right on. Ebro gave $1,000 donation. Right on, Ebro. Thank you a lot. Thank you. The youth need us. That's right. That's right. It's only us. And so we're saying $15. Sponsor a young person's 1 hour of work. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get together. Let's tell our friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we're live today for 24 hours and they can come on and get some good words, get some encouragement. Right now, we're gonna you heard Russell said he don't eat until 12:30. He said he does water and intermittent fasting, and then he eats at 12:30. So I'm gonna try that today. I'm going to. I have my a Queen of Four makes something called Master Herbal Tea, and so I have the Master Herbal Tea. I'm gonna drink the Master Herbal Tea because if we love ourselves and we love our life, we have to take care of ourselves. Queen of Four will be on here later, but she has two products. One is called Green Life, and she has more than two products, but two that we're talking about for breakfast, and Master Herbal Tea. And so in the morning, you take those, you drink those, all right, to help build your immune system, to help clean your blood. Yeah, I did the, I'm not going to do the apple cider vinegar this morning. I might do it. That apple cider vinegar is no joke, yo. I usually take my apple cider vinegar shot, but I'm gonna just do the Master Herbal Tea this morning because the the um, it's a beautiful taste, and we just got to be healthy. That's what love is about. That's what love is about. So thank you. Well, somebody else just made a donation. Thank you, Kay Smith. Kathy Smith supports us every month. Straight ahead, Queen. Kay Smith, we really appreciate you. We really appreciate giving monthly donations is a great thing. And you know, it's cheaper than a Starbucks coffee. You could just give for a week, you know? Don't buy Starbucks. Anthony, are you here? Cities United. Let's see. Cities United. Cities United. Let's look for Anthony. Oh, okay, he said 3 minutes. So, while we wait, let's talk to the people. Barbara requested, so let's see who Barbara is and talk to Barbara about why it's important to, during Gun Violence Awareness Month. Oh, so she requested, but she didn't want to come on. Oh, okay. Barbara, you're unable to join. We have a, 24 hours. Thank you. This is a corona here. Well, can't get your hair done during the coronavirus. So let's go back over some important things. If you want to be a mentor, with Life Camp and mentor some of these young kids, young folks, go to Life Camp Inc. If you want to teach, help us by teaching a master class. Come on. We have Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday. Y'all can tune in and learn what it means to eat healthy, to be healthy. We're here today, all day. We got people like Fat Joe, Felicia Butterfield, Tamika Mallory, Jada Pinkett will be on later. Kepra Cares, Deepak Chopra will be on later. The Dream will be on. Cortez, manager extraordinary, Mano. Oh, okay. I didn't want to do that. So, So um, I okay. So I just learned something new. See, you can put a picture up while you're on the live. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. So I accidentally hit a button and the picture came up.
What's
My brother.
good? How are you, fam?
Ah, let's go. I'm good. 24 hours. I'm kicking it off. I'm just started.
40, you got you better get that coffee next to you. You got that Starbucks or whatever.
I got my latte machine. I'm gonna hit it. I'm drinking my healthy tea first.
Oh, okay, I got you. Got to
So,
plan it right.
so tell us about who you are, because one of the things that I want to do in the midst of the celebrities and people that we're bringing in, I want to bring in people who are on the front line, people who are working on the ground, doing the work. And so, tell us about who you are, what you represent, and
Yeah. Anthony Smith, Executive Director at Cities United, support a network of mayors all across the country and young leaders who are really working to create safe, healthy, and hopeful communities for young Black men and boys and their families. So we work with mayors and their teams, and then also bring in young people from those communities to make sure that they're creating these comprehensive strategies to reduce homicides of young Black men and boys. Really making sure that they've got young people who are most impacted at the table, have making decisions, and are really looking to create outcomes that are lasting for a long time, right? So we ask folks to think about the two-pronged approach, really looking at how do we stop violence today using one of the best-known practices that we know about, but then also asking folks to think about long-term, how do we do systems change work so that we don't have to have people in the streets every day doing conflict resolution and keeping our kids safe. So we do that in about 130 cities right now, looking to grow. Have been great partners. You all have been a great partner with us all over the country. And just really trying to make sure that we, our young people get what they need and get what they deserve so that they can be safe.
and so what are you seeing and hearing in the different cities that you're in?
So we're headquarters in Louisville. Louisville is where Breonna Taylor was killed, and so there's a uprising happening right now, as it is all across the country. So we're hearing young people are in pain, right? Young people are really upset that we're not listening, that the systems are still broken, and they're asking for change. And I think some mayors and other elected officials are leaning in and trying to figure it out, and some are not getting it right at all, right? So we're trying to figure out how we can be supportive there and make sure that people are listening to the young folks, making the shift that they need to make, because I think right now is the time for us to make the change, and if we don't, I don't know if this country's going to make it.
Facts. Question.
Right. Yep.
Summer jobs for the young people in the cities that you work in. What do you are they non-existent like in New York, or are they, because that's what we're doing here today, trying to raise enough money so that we can hire enough people across the nation this summer.
Yeah, most folks that we know do them. They don't do enough because they say they don't have enough resources to do them. Everybody knows that that's a proven model and a proven way to help keep young people safe, not only during the summer, but it has after effects last, right? And it's
Right.
a great way to get people engaged and work so that they can understand what their full potential is, right? So I think most mayors in most cities get it. They never allocate enough resources to get it done. And this is where business community and other folks really need to step up philanthropy, because I think every kid who want to work should have a job in the summertime
Right.
and beyond if they need to, right? So we've got to get better at that. So cities are trying. I know in Denver they were trying to add more. COVID hit and other stuff hit, so they're probably going to cut the budgets,
Right.
right? So we've got to step up and figure out what to do and actually hold people accountable, because those young folks need not just activities, they need resources in their pockets to support themselves and their families. So for us, it's much needed, and we push it. We just think folks always underfunded and undercut it.
Facts. And so that's just why it's important for us to do this work and to do it together,
Absolutely.
together.
Uh,
What if you had a message to young people who feel hopeless right now, who feel like there's nothing but death in front of them, and on top of that, so many families have been impacted by the coronavirus, and
right.
so what message of, just to out from a black man to young black men, what would you say to them?
Well, sometimes it's hard, Erica. Sometimes I lose hope just like they do. But at the moment, I've seen what's possible, and I see what's possible every day when I see young people doing their thing. And I think, for me, I think that the message for me is that success does not have to take the traditional route, right? I think young people, and we get young people so caught up in you got to do it this way. I think young people need to live out their dreams and really figure out what's for them, because that's when they find that true purpose, right? That's where they really find where success really happens, is when they understand who they are and what their destiny is, right? So having young people right now during this time really spending time figuring out who they are, so that then they can have the right dream and the right purpose, and it'll come their way, right? So I think, that for me is what's always worked, is once I figured out my purpose, life unfolded for me in ways that I never knew it would. It took me to 27, but young people have time now
That's
to really
right.
figure that out. So use this downtime, this time, or whatever it is, to work with folks like Erica and other folks across the country who really give a damn about you, and figure out what that is, and let us help you figure out a pathway for that.
That's right. That's right. Building the foundation. That's how I look at Anthony in our stuff. He's always the foundation builder, because if the foundation ain't strong, the building's gonna crumble. Everything's gonna fall in. And so he's a strong build foundation. He's holding mayors accountable, and we're gonna go in even deeper, and hold some of these mayors even more accountable, because when we look at the question of the inability to um, get these cops out of here. Like, these are your cops. Like,
Right?
so they, we need mayors who are really going to stand fast and have
Yeah.
some connection to, so thank
And take the hits when they need to, right? So I mean, it might not be easy, right? You're gonna get pushback from the unions. All that shit will happen, but mayors need to do the right thing, right? You gotta hold people accountable, just like you would in any other scenario. Just because they signed up to be officers don't mean they can't make mistakes, and they don't make mistakes. And sometimes those are intentional mistakes, right? So we've got to hold people accountable, just like we would anybody else. So yeah, that's the question. That's the push to mayors: do your job, hold people accountable.
yes, yes.
Appreciate you, fam.
I appreciate you, brother. Cities United, Anthony Smith. Make sure y'all support that brother. Support the work. I see one of our Michelle. I see you. So before we bring in the Queen's DA, Michelle, make a request. I see you. Make a request, Michelle. Oh, Jen Michelle, what up? Michelle Van, make a request. There you go. I see you. Um, Michelle Van. Hey, Tanisha. I see a lot. Mark, my brother, Jed, is another one of my brothers. But Cities United is a good organization. It's a good organization. Don't tell me that. She's canceled. It's too early in the morning for you, Michelle? Is that what it is? Michelle is a graduate from Life Camp, and I was trying to bring her in before we bring in. Oh, we got 15 minutes before we bring in the DA, so we could talk to 100 people. Um, they probably all in their pajamas. So, Master Herbal Tea. And yeah, you see your
Hey,
oh no, we gotta see your face. You can't just hey.
hold on. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm doing multiple things right now.
I understand. Michelle said she got crust in her eyes. She couldn't pull it.
Right. Hold on. Hold on. I'm coming.
But the voice from behind us is Tanisha. Tanisha is a young person that does a lot of great work. She's just been pounding these cements, organizing, working with young people, and it's young people like her who we need to invest in and support and make sure that they are future elected officials, because we need to have elected officials in office who are going Real
I'm here. I promise.
Queen.
I'm right here. 1 second.
It's all right. We can still talk. We don't.
Yes.
They see you. They saw you.
Hey,
And so, how are you this beautiful morning?
I'm good, E. How are you?
I'm great. We're kicking off Gun Violence Awareness Month. We're going with 24 hours live for love. So
Yes.
we getting it in. I know you was out there the other day doing your organization had an event. I don't know if you were part of the organizing, but that was with your people.
Yes, yes. I mean, we ended up having to, take some stuff over because, E, you saw, right there, people from not from our community was trying to agitate, and we was not with that. And I just decided to, take our people where they needed to go. They wanted to march, they wanted to do something, and we did it, and it was great. And I mean, it was amazing. It was really, really good. It was really, really good.
What
It
do
was
you think people should do in terms of with young people? To our community, what are things that our community could do, and what are the things that the people outside of our community could do to support young people in a better way to help us through this through this tragedy of police brutality,
mm,
the education system,
yeah. I
job.
mean, you know, I I I think, Oprah said this once, in a random show I watch because I don't watch Oprah. But she said there comes a point in, time where you have to stop managing people, like managing adults and, managing young people. You have to start coaching them, and you have to start sponsoring them.
Okay.
And I think it was one of the things that I took with me, through, becoming a young adult through college. I think we need to really start coaching and sponsoring our young people, right? Like, we cannot manage them. I don't think we do them a disservice when we tell them, we try to tell them how things should be, right? When we
Yeah.
try to tell them how things work. I think the best thing that I ever did was become a dream director in the educational system, right? Literally help direct young people's dreams, because it made me take a step back and teach young people how to fail to be great, right? I had to let them fail sometimes to be amazing, right? I had to coach them through some things. I can give them the tools and resources to be great, but those were those kids' mistakes to make, and I had to let them do that. I also think, sometimes as adults and grown people who go through life, we really, really put our opinions
Yes.
on other people. We really are good to say this is how it's supposed to
I ain't
be
gonna front.
done.
I know I was a victim of all of that you're talking about.
Yes, right, right. Like, we really, 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 do that a lot. And I think the best thing we can do is say what we know, teach what we know, and then really just open the doors to let them be great. I think it's, one of those things that it's hard to do because, like, it's like parenting, like, no, this is how it's supposed to be done. But these young people and us, because we still are all learning, we all don't need that. I think it does us all a disservice in what it means to fail, because I think sometimes failure can be the best thing that happens to any of us. So if kids don't organize right the first time, I think that's something that they need. My Uncle Kareem, I know you know him, he's the deputy commissioner of faith-based initiatives for the governor. He said to me yesterday on a Zoom, he said, Tanisha, sometimes you got to just do it. You have to work with what you got in your hand.
Yes. Yes.
You have, and that really, really helped me, and balance me into the conversation we were going to have that day about this police brutality. So yeah, I just think that those are the best things we can do. We can educate, we can say what we know, and we really have to stop managing people's lives and opinions. We have to let our young people be frustrated. We have to let our young people figure it out. We can give them the tools of what we have, but we really just have to start coaching and sponsoring and stop managing, because it does not help them at
Facts.
all in
Facts.
what their growth in life is supposed to
Facts.
be.
Facts. Facts. Yo, so I'm gonna ask you a tough question, right?
Sure.
Um, a lot of young people are angry. A lot of young people are, in a space where they feel the environment in which they grew up in, made them, I'm not gonna say made them, but um, it's just like it's somebody could help, like their parent, played a role either by their absence or by the abuse or by whatever. And so holding on to that rage and anger, what does it do to a young person?
Oof.
How do you navigate through that whole question of being whole when you're
Mm.
complete?
Yeah, it's super deep. That's super, super deep. As somebody who, first of all, it took me a long time to like be able to acknowledge things in life, right? Because as a young person, we are still very much molded by society and what society thinks and what society tells us to be and all of that, right? Like it really takes us a long time to come into our space as young adults and say like, this is who I am and I'm okay with it.
Right.
So, just like with that, it took me a long time to even say like, hey, like I had a single mom. I had a father who was incarcerated, for half my life. I don't know how my mom did that. I don't know how my mom had got 3 kids to graduate. I really don't know how she did it. But I was, as a young person without a father, that was, embarrassing to me, like that was a hard space for me. Not having this fatherly figure in my home, took a lot for me to have to learn myself. I mean, thank God I had a brother and all those things, but it really took a toll on how I viewed the world, how I viewed Black men, and just so many things. In the middle of it, I think it's tough. I think society doesn't help create that space, but I think what really needs to happen, and I think it is happening because of people like amazing people like you, is this space in just listening without judgment.
Right.
Like those things they're gonna have to get through those things themselves. It's really not anything, again, right? Like this management is
Right.
really nothing we can manage. We are really not here to change young people's opinions
Right.
on the ills that happen in their world. But I do think sometimes life can be easy when you feel supported through everything. And I don't know why and when in just our Black community we created this space where like teenagers stopped mattering. Like when you got to
Yes.
high school, it was
Well,
just like, woo,
yes.
you know how to
You
swipe that Metro card. You know how to drive now. You don't need me. Make food for you. Make food for your
right.
younger sibling, and
Right.
I'm out. Right? Like
Yes.
I can put my hands up it, and it's just so. It is not the case. I think that our teenagers are just this underserved community more than
Yes.
anybody. So
Yes.
like just in that, like, it's crazy because as much as I think a 5-year-old will be impacted, I think a 15-year-old is even more impacted, right?
Yes.
Because their level of consciousness is even deeper at that age. So like just in that tough space, I think we really just have to help continue and be conscious as adults, even as teachers, right? Even as store owners, even as, bus drivers, like every part of that teenager's life throughout the day and throughout their years, those important years, the community has to be deep.
Yes.
The
Yes.
community has to be so deep. And I think, it's easy to be like, look at them little rowdy moms. You know what I mean? Like they
Yes.
out there acting
Yes.
up. But let's be clear, like
Yes.
they're just having fun. They don't know, like they don't know. And we really just have to let the joy when they do find it, when young Black people find the joy, we have to let them keep it in the best way. We really do. And also it's okay to be angry.
Yeah.
I think we
Thank
also
you.
have a duty to be, especially people from the hood and especially people from Black hoods, we have also a duty to be professional translators.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
sometimes
What does that mean? Talk about that. What does that
yeah.
mean, a professional translator? That is
So
very powerful because that is very powerful because the police don't understand some of the language or the emotions or way they, so they're looking at it as a like you dissing or you violate or something to the point of arrest. So talk
right.
about that.
So perfect example. I will never forget this. I was working in a high school in Southeast Queens where Erica's at. And the conversation I was having was with this predominantly white principal in a predominantly Black school with predominantly white staff. Okay, I want to preface it that way because I think that's important. And the school, became a co-located school. So there's 4 floors in the building, but you got about 200 kids on one floor because there's 4 schools and there's maybe 1 or 2 schools to each floor, right? So I just want everybody to understand even that part of that. And what I saw happening was throughout that hallway was these young Black men who felt policed in their own school, right?
Yes.
Between the security, between their white principal, between the white staff. It was like a trickle down effect where, like, from the bathroom to the staircase to the classroom to the hallway, they felt like they were in prison. And I need y'all to understand how it will feel for you to already feel highly policed in your neighborhood, highly managed when you get home, and then to get to school and be policed by the people who are supposed to be creating this new atmosphere for you.
Right.
And this one young brother just had enough, you know, like, oh, put your this down, pull up your pants. Why you look like that? Why you late? Why this and that? And he just had enough, and he went off. And when I tell you, he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and he would just, everything he said, and I'm going to translate it for us, everything he said came out to these white people as straight up aggression, and my life is in danger.
Right. Right.
All it was for me was that this young person isn't being heard, and by the time I heard security called, I knew I had a duty to go run in front of that young man and hug him.
Right.
I had to run in front of that young man and hug him because he did not have a weapon. He did not have anything on him. But from what I heard on that security call, not only was the cops on their way, but every security officer in the building was coming for this one young man who is just fed up and tired from what I saw he was dealing with every day and being antagonized all the time. And he was using the only words he used were a lot of curse words and at the top of his lungs, okay? You have to understand he was just mad. And I hugged him. And everybody in that institution was pissed. But I took that brother away. I sat him down. I listened to him and let him calm down.
Yes.
And I was able to bring him to his principal's office. And everything he said, I was able to articulate in an educated way that these people could understand. So he said, I'm tired of y'all mother effers. I said, keep going. He said, I feel like Trayvon in here. I said, he's saying he is not heard. He cannot hear you, and he feels like he's being policed. He said, every time I come in here, y'all mother effers got something to say to me. I didn't even get in the room. Y'all not helping me. I said, he's saying, y'all not giving him a chance. He's asking y'all to let him breathe a second.
Yes.
You have no idea what he's going through when he comes in this building and he's saying that he just needs a second. Right? So like that moment, right? And I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else, but I do feel like it's just unique to our Blackness, right?
Yes.
Like the slang that we talk in our hood, right? The way that we talk in our homes. And then everything else that's happening as we get educated and learn, you know, the English vernacular and learn how to articulate ourselves the right way. I just think that this moment where, like, we know the words, we learned how to articulate ourselves, and we really got to just be translators, because those encounters, that agitation, that frustration, unfortunately for our young Black men specifically, automatically makes them public enemy. And we sometimes can get right in the middle of that and translate.
That's the real. I'm like, you weren't even on the time, you know, the agenda, but you coming in breaking down exactly why we here today, because we have to step in and give our kids the love that they need.
Right.
We have to step in, and as Tamara says, we here to raise money so that we can give young people, as many of them, jobs this summer, because we know that we have to take them out of the environment and give them something to do so that they don't get into those. They don't have to conversate with those things. So I appreciate you. We get ready to bring on your DA.
Okay.
Queen's DA coming on right now after you. And that's a great segue to her. You know, in terms of conversation.
Please, people, do not be afraid to give young people opportunity. I promise you, it's the thing that's going to change your life. A day with you, a week with you, a year with you will change their lives. I promise you, they just need opportunity and exposure. I promise you, they will change the world. And I'm going to get out of here because I wasn't even supposed to be here. I love you.
Thank you. I love you. Yes.
Love you too. Bye.
Invest in young people, yo. This is why we have to invest in young people. This is why we have to believe in our young people. We have to give our young people opportunity, and that is what we are here today. We are here for a full day, 24 hours, and we're just starting. I'm getting ready to bring on the Queens District Attorney, Melinda Katz, which is a good segue after Tanisha and what she was talking about, just about how sometimes young people don't know how to express themselves, and they're just so angry and so enraged that, so Melinda, there's a request button. You just hit accept, and then you'll be able to, yes. And she was talking about August Martin was one of the schools that those things happened to, Michelle, because a new principal came in. They don't see, they can't interconnect with us because they don't have the empathy for our kids and the love for our kids, and that's why we're here doing this today. Let's thank some of these people. My sister, I see you up here. Whew. I thank you for your donation of $200, yo. Monique, she just lost her partner. Her road corona done took a lot of people out, and she's here donating and supporting us. I love you. I love you. Neek Emo on here on Instagram, straight out of Hollis. Part of the swag. Thank you for your $20. But Queen Monique, we love you. Dear, you got to hit accept. Okay, maybe. Thank you all for your donations. Okay, she got it now. Some folks, she said, I don't use, thank you for the $100, Michelle.
How's that?
That's much better.
How is everyone this morning, Erica? Good to see you.
Let's give you a round of applause for learning how to get on Instagram Live.
Yay! I told you I was running a 700-person office by video, but Instagram does me in.
Yes. Got your orange on me, both orange. I'm representing Queens.
Orange. I would
Queens
not
all
dare.
over peace. You represented peace. Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to represent peace. I am trying to represent peace. We had a long weekend of protests. We had a lot of people out in the streets. We had great protests in Southeast Queens who, Erica, I know you were a big part about keeping the peace out there. You and Kevin Livingston, a bunch of people out there, making sure that, this is New York City. We do our protests. We do them peacefully. I know you were out there doing that. I appreciate that. But I got to tell you, over the weekend, I didn't look at the numbers last night yet. I assumed that if they were bad, I would have gotten a call. We had 2 DATs, 2 arrests over the weekend. They were just, death summonses. We're probably not even going to write them up. But, it's amazing how we do it here. I heard your previous caller. I agree with her to a large extent. The young people, we got to give them chances. We see it out there every day. And before all of the COVID that was happening, which just affected the communities of color so badly here in Queens County, but all over the country. We were working on a bunch of pretrial diversion programs, and we're still doing our internship program with the high school kids when a lot of people just cut them out. We're doing it, for video conferencing. I just spoke to about 30 young people from high school who said to me, look, this opportunity was amazing. We get to see what law enforcement can do from the inside when they're not just trying to be prosecutors. Right. It's amazing. What's going on today? People are reeling from suicides are up 200%, overdoses 150%. We are reeling from domestic violence victims who are trapped, literally trapped inside their home. We got one case where, a woman goes out for a little while. She comes back. The abuser says, "Hey, where you been? There's nothing open. What could you possibly be doing?" So the trap the people are feeling out there is real.
Yes. Yes.
And
that's why we're trying to shift people's heart, because people have to find a space to love the people who they're with, love themselves, heal from the trauma that makes them lash out on their loved ones. And then also with the whole police question, in part of what Tanisha was saying is that you have to learn, you're coming into a community, you have to learn the nuances, you have to learn the languages, you have to be empathetic to the young people who are there and not just have so much content, because I see a lot of content on these officers' face when they come into our community. And so how do you think that we can to make a place where we can coexist in a peaceful manner? How do you think we can do that?
Look, every new class that comes in, the police class, I talk to them and I say to them, look, we're 200 languages, 190 countries here. Every one of our cultures have a different way how they view police. Every single one. You know, from the country they come from the neighborhoods they come from the communities that they've been raised in. Everyone has different cultures. And, you know, you have to learn what's going on in your neighborhood. And, you know, look, I think it's real. I think that we in Queens, you know, we have large relationships with our councils, with the cops. We try to do a lot of work together, working now on pretrial diversion programs together. You know, look, it's not insignificant that in the 103rd, which is Southeast Queens, was the first white shirt commander to take a knee with the protesters. That doesn't solve every issue. That's not the answer. It's not, you know, it doesn't mean that everyone's a great guy. It means, though, that at least it's a start. So I think that little by little, look, I came in 5 months ago. We had a lot of
And you didn't
policies.
say you didn't arrest all the bad folks yet?
I'm trying.
You didn't arrest all these bad cops yet? You've been here for 4 months. What you waiting for?
Yeah, well, you know, we got waylaid quite a few times. You know, I'm here 5 months. We changed the bail laws twice, which, by the way, you know, was a good thing. And then we changed the discovery laws, which were also a good thing. Then we had a pandemic, and now we have these protests. So, you know, we're a little busy. But, you know, look, time doesn't stop, though. We have a conviction integrity unit that is active and running with a dozen cases. It is out there. We have a way on the website of applying. If you think you're wrongfully accused or you believe or you are innocent, you know, you have a way of applying. We're working. We got announcements coming up. You know, we have a lot of different things that are still moving forward. So it's
the integrity thing is definitely a good thing.
It's a big thing. I'll be happier when we have our diversion program set. You know, I believe that you don't have to plead guilty or shouldn't have to plead guilty to get drug rehabilitation or to get mental health illness or things of that nature. I mean, I know they sound myopic right now, considering everything we're going through. But if it's going to start with the young people, it's got to start with going after the really dangerous gangs and getting the young people before they're made, right? Before they actually do something that ruins the rest of their life or the record and ends up in the system because nobody comes out of Rikers better than when they went in. And so, you know, it's important that we do. You know, I agree with your previous caller. It's just, you got to have an understanding and you got to make sure the young people have a chance. I don't know how they get a chance sometimes.
Right.
And so we're trying.
Right. What do you think about the whole question of arresting and convicting cops who just blatantly violate the law and abuse individuals and just make it bad for everybody else? Like, and then that's the other thing. Why do they believe in, but why do they sacrifice one bad cop, right, for the whole force, like the whole nation right now?
Yeah. Look, I don't understand. George Floyd is I mean, it's heart-wrenching. Yeah, but we've been here before, right? We saw it with Eric Gardner. We saw it with Amadou Daleo. We saw it with all people, you know, so many times. And a lot of us that are of the age have been here a lot of times. I think the answer is I don't know the answer. I think Pantaleo, you know, justice delayed is justice denied. And that went on for years while he still, you know, is getting a pension, all the kind of stuff he's doing. With George Floyd, look, I have no clue. It took 5 days to get an indictment for murder 3. The murder 3 just so you know and your listeners know, so everyone has facts. So murder 3 is the same as depraved indifference here in New York. So it'd be like a murder 2 here. The difference is it's up to 25 years, not 25 years to life. That's the biggest difference. And that's a big difference because you can only, you know, that's the max, not the minimum. And the other 3 officers that were standing around, as a district attorney, we are trained not to comment on other people's cases.
Right.
But I couldn't help myself. I mean,
Right.
I've been on Facebook, as you saw, and on Twitter and everything that I could, all these Twitter things that,
Yes.
calling on the other 3 officers. And I do think that, I'll be honest, I think that the indictment of the other 3 who are standing around, because you have to take some responsibility when you're in law enforcement too. Someone is doing something wrong. You see it. If you believe all of the news media reports, and they say that there was 911 calls even before about him, that he was having heart problems while they were making the arrest. So if you believe it, it's hard to look at it and say, why wasn't that dealt with sooner?
Right.
Why is it still not fully dealt with? And you can see the anger. I mean, I get it. I think that de-escalating the violence helps. I was on WBLS last night with Ebro and the Rev, and we were talking about de-escalating the violence and not feeding into
I
what
was on
people
with
are
Ebro this
saying.
morning. He was
Yeah.
telling me about you.
Oh, was it good?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You never know. So last time I saw Ebro, Erica, was in your peace van.
Yes.
I love that van.
Yes.
We need to get in
Yes.
front of the DA's office a few times to
Yes.
send a
Yes.
real clear message.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
And once you give us those forfeiture funds, or get all the people in America to donate, we could, put some time in over there by the DA's office and help give a different message to folks. We definitely look on expanding our work beyond our borders.
yep.
We want to get another Peace Mobile on the road, and that's another reason why we're here for 24 hours today, to work to get another Peace Mobile.
I think it's important to send a message. And Erica, when you do things, you don't do things small. That thing is large. You see it coming. I was at dinner one night, and with I think it might have been the BP. I forgot who it was. I think it was
Yes.
Sharon. And she's like, "Isn't that the Peace Mobile?" I mean, we were just driving by,
Yo.
but it sends a message
Facts.
and going right into the community. Look,
Facts.
when
Facts.
I'm not going to change the world as the DA, I can only change my portion of the world and try to push things in a direction that I think is right.
Yes.
I think that we need to get guns off the street. We are bleeding out in
Yes.
Southeast Queens, bleeding out in Southeast
Yes.
Queens. We just had another double murder on Saturday night. Car to car, people aren't getting out of their cars. I don't know, social distancing, but it is
And
bleeding
then we
out.
have a Hugh Hogan's son who was shot in the
Yep.
head, walking out his car, not realizing that there's, a gun battle going on, and gets shot in the head. And we have to get the guns off the streets. We have to, have a ceasefire, a truce, a pause, and give us time to raise money and get resources to support young people and give them something else to do, because we don't want to see you die. We don't want to see you go to jail,
And guns is the one thing where, I have to tell you, and your listeners, your watchers should know this. We've been fighting for pretrial options since the day I got in. And we got rid of bail for misdemeanors and for nonviolent felonies. And then, we have remand for those that we believe are not going to show up in court because they're facing life sentences. They're predicate felons. They've done 20 years already. We don't think they're showing back up. But there's that whole middle ground.
Yes.
That we have been fighting for things like, cure violence groups and rehab and supervised monitoring and all of that kind of stuff, so we don't have to do bail. And, it's someone that is going to go out and get new guns. And you wonder, what do you do with them now? Since you don't have electronic monitoring, you don't have cure violence set up in place, you don't have mentorship programs set up in
Right.
place yet, because the city hasn't done it yet. And so, to some extent, we're still using really outdated methods. I do not believe in bail. I don't think, if you're dangerous at $100,000 in bail, and you're dangerous at $2,000 in bail. You're dangerous, period. But
Right.
we don't have any options now. And so the city, and just if your listeners and watchers could, do everything they can to advocate too. We need all these sort of alternatives for that time. But, you know, I believe in that to a lot of extent, but I will tell you something else. You bring guns into my borough, you sell them to my young people, you sell them to the folks here in this borough, there's going to be a large price to pay, because you got to get rid of the market, and we got to get the young people not to want to pick them up.
Right.
But you also have to get the product off the street.
Right.
And we need summer jobs. I see one of your writers here. They are so right. We need summer jobs. And so we're working on trying to develop something on our own.
That's what we're here today too for, to raise money to give young people summer jobs. We want to hire as many people as we can. We got to do, you know, we got to take care of our own. We can't just wait to see if something happens. We got to take care of our own. And so we're here today to do that. We appreciate you. Does anybody have a question for the DA? Okay, no. Right. Tanisha was saying something.
Oh, Tanisha, I know someone was saying something about the summer jobs. It's funny because me and the other DAs were talking about that on Friday, on the fact that there isn't, you know, they took them out of the city. Look, I get it. It's a budget issue. I get it. I just think that
it's not a budget issue.
It's a disaster, right?
It's not a budget issue.
Idle hands.
When you're taking all the money from young people, all of the funds that were cut in New York City was stuff related to young people and the elderly. Like, come on, yo, you showing us how you care about the community. And so in order for us, and that's why we're here today talking about 24 hours of love, because if we don't love our kids, then nobody else is going to love our kids. If we got to love our kids, we got to invest in our kids. We got to translate for our kids. We got to give our kids hugs. Even when they angry as hell, you know, we got to not give up on them when they curse us out, because they don't mean it. They hurt. They don't know nothing else to say, you know, and so that's why we're here. We thank you for...
well, we're trying to create them ourselves from my office, just to try and help a little bit.
Yes,
Listen,
are.
Erica, we're trying our best, you know. You are amazing. My prayers go to AU.
Yes.
You know, I've been thinking about him. Trying to text him yesterday. I just, you know, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine.
He got to go into the hospital and see his son yesterday. They let him in one at a time, you know, even with the corona. So that was good. But we thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Erica. Have a good 24 hours. How many more hours? How many more hours?
I don't know, a lot.
Have a good day, everybody.
It's too many to count.
Peace out.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Thank you to the DA for coming in and supporting us. And let's thank you to all of those who donated. Let's shout out Michelle. Woo, thank you, Michelle. Little Lady G, thank you for your donation. C Sweet 848, thank you for your donation. Nikki Mo, thank you for your donation, and love you, girl. You know, I know you're going through it right now yourself, losing your loved one to coronavirus, to, you know, whatever. I say corona. Crazy Cakes BK, thank you so much for your donation. Pardon the swag, Mr. GQ. How are you today? Thank you for your donation. HR Radio Lady, thank you for your donation. Kathy Smith, thank you for your donation all the time. Kelly, thank you for your donation. Established 1128, thank you for your donation. Horisha Amami, thank you for your donation. Voice of the Youth, thank you for your donation. Shanice, thank you. Jade, Katie, Vanelia, thank you all for your donation and support. Thank you. Let's go. Let's talk to say a young person. Jeanette Stevens, thank you for your donation.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for this one.
That's okay. It's real fast, early. Brother. Typical young person. Y'all ain't up in the morning. Y'all gotta get up in the morning, yo.
Yeah, man. Gotta get up.
You gotta put in that work, bro. You got to be up at 5 o'clock, getting ready, getting right. Then
Yeah,
go
man.
eat.
Start the day, man. Gotta
That's
start it
right.
early while everybody's asleep, man. Don't let them
That's
beat you
right.
to it.
That's
Don't let them
right.
beat you to it.
Yo, so we here, you know, raising money to put young people to work for the summer,
Yep.
as well as, you know, give them something to do to help to get them off the street. And so,
Yep.
tell us what's your name, who you are, and is that an important thing?
My name, no, I'm actually trying to find a charger so we can get into this. But
Well, we ain't got that much time, so you don't have to find a charger. You're only gonna be on here for a minute.
all right, so I'm Todd. My name is Todd Ford. I'm actually Erica's nephew, everybody. And what was the other question you asked me?
Getting young people jobs for the summer. How important is that? Helping keep them off the street, giving them something to do. How important is that for young black men in
That's
particular?
very, very important. You know what's crazy? That yesterday I was with my friend. I picked him up from work, and he was telling me, I was telling him how they cut summer youth and all that. And he was just telling me like, yo, every young person I know, that's what they do for the summer. They either work at a summer youth or they go there for the camp.
Right.
And he way from Atlantic City, Jersey. So if they know that that's what gets the kids out of stuff in New York, then there's no way that the people in New York or Southeast Queens don't understand how effective that summer youth is for them and
Right.
having jobs for them in the summer. Like, anybody know that if you give kids nothing to do in the heat, what it might lead to.
Right. Facts.
So the jobs from is great because you can give them guidance, you keep money in their pocket. It's just all about getting them there, and they need that. They need it. They need this more than ever. So everybody make sure you donate. Donate, because this is a Live for Love. We 24 hours a day. We trying to raise a meal, hopefully, for the youth, man.
No hope. We doing that. We doing that
today. That's the move today, man. We going up. We've been planning this for a while now. We appreciate everybody coming out, all the people, all the guests. We appreciate y'all coming today.
Yeah, we got a big lineup today. We got Deepak Chopra, we got Mano, we got Jim Jones, we got Fat Joe, we got Jada Pinkett, we got Rhapsody.
Yeah.
I see Salt from Salt and Pepper is in the building. Are you gonna let me bring you on, Salt? Are you gonna come on with me?
See, Salt, you got me kicked off. You popped on, she kicked me off as soon as she seen you.
As soon as I see Salt, you know, because I'm the paprika of the Salt and Pepper.
The paprika.
Look, here's another young person. She's supposed to be here at 6 o'clock. She's knocking on my window now. That's one thing with you young people and being on time.
Who's that?
So okay, later, definitely Salt. Make sure you come back. Because I definitely want to, you know, I gotta have you, Salt. That's my homie from way back, like Cadillacs. There's mask over there. There's Lysol. This is what you do when people come in your house. You got to make sure that you get your mask, get the gloves, up. Get the Lysol up. There's hand sanitizer, because we are still in the middle of a quarantine.
We in the middle of the quarantine. Let me get my orange. It don't matter how much time we got. Let's go orange. We orange for the day. Everybody get your orange on. When
That's
you wake
right.
up,
get your orange on.
Go get the orange and put it on for the whole day. Don't put it on for the live and then go take it off. No, keep the orange on for the whole day.
Michelle, this is Little Taj. You remember Little Taj, Michelle? This is Little Taj.
How you doing, Michelle? I'm Big Taj now, but hey, I was Little Taj before.
Yes. And so thank you. I'm going to go talk to CJ.
All right, cool. I love you, Auntie.
I love you too. Stay
right.
great. And that's what we are all about. Invested in young people. Even when they come 2 hours and 20 minutes late, you know, it's all good. They 2 hours and 20 minutes late. You see? I'm 55 and I still can out. And I was up all night. We sent her to bed early so she could be on time. It don't matter. I was up all night. All night. Now, you got to put the mask on. Yeah. It's quarantine time. I don't know if you got coronavirus.
I don't.
Yeah, well, I don't know that. And wipe your bag off with the wipe. Okay, okay. And then there's a bathroom right there. You can wash your hands just in case you got corona. She's serious. Yes, I am serious. I'm corona protected. No corona in here. Yeah, Tamara, y'all can't beat. I'm 55. I am 55. 24 hours. Let's see how many of you young people gonna be with me for 24 hours. We doing this for love. How you do that, love? We doing this live for love because we gotta put some love back in our kids' hearts, yo. We got to. That's what we doing. Oh, he talking about AU, yeah. So my man AU, his son, he was playing his music so loud. Tamara said we docking your pay.
Why?
Because you 2 hours late.
I didn't know I was supposed to be there at 6. I thought it was 8 o'clock.
Now she talking about and then that's the other thing that young people do. They know dead what they were supposed to do. They be like, well, I didn't know I was supposed to be there. They come up with excuses, no excuses. That's the love that we giving them today too. The love that we giving them is we gonna invest in helping them grow mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Because in order to succeed, we have to transform ourselves. We got to become new people. We got to radically reimagine a new society with how we relate to our young people and everything else. That's what we got to do, yo. So we here. It's 8:30. It's 8:23. Yeah, the chief of the streets. And like I was saying, his son was getting out the car, didn't realize, had his music so loud that he didn't realize that there was, a shootout happening in front of him. You don't want to sit up on the desk right there. All right. And he stepped out, and there was a shootout going on, and he got shot in the head. And so he's in stable condition. He's doing much better. They had an operation. The operation was successful, and he's out in Long Island in the hospital. So 8:30. It's about to go down. Let's see who we got here. Let's see. We're just gonna talk to the people right now. Michelle, you ready? But we're here 24 hours. Like I said, we got a full lineup today, and we want to inspire people to inspire people. We want to make sure that we connect to the hearts of people. There's a lot going on. Last night, a young man was shot out here. And so, although we are talking about 24-hour Live for Love, we're not talking about being passive. We're not talking about not getting justice. We're not talking about not, holding people accountable for the violence that inflicted upon us. What we're talking about is that we can't do that from a place of anger. There she go. There she go. There she go. We can't hear you. Good morning. Good morning. You look beautiful. We won't advertise your sketchy provider, your Wi-Fi provider, because whoever your Wi-Fi provider is, you need a new Wi-Fi provider, because your Wi-Fi provider is terrible.
Yeah,
because
iPad,
this is how
I don't usually do anything. Just stay on with your pad.
Got it. How old were you when you first? How old were you when you first came into Light Camp? We didn't hear you. 16?
About 16, 17?
16, 17.
16, 16.
15, 15.
Yep.
So one of your
Erica, you know what
friends says
I'm gonna go back
you're gonna go off and
home.
all right. She exited stage left. Tamara, you know I was getting ready to ask her, right? Yeah, her Wi-Fi terrible. Her Wi-Fi was terrible. But that's the nature of our existence in our community. Our Wi-Fi be messed up. And we be trying to do our schoolwork. The kids be trying to do their schoolwork and they Wi-Fi be messed up and they can't even do their schoolwork. And then they fall behind in school because they Wi-Fi is messed up. Because they don't have Wi-Fi, right, Prince? They got Wi-Fi. Because they
got
Wi-Fi all
Wi-Fi.
messed up. And your Wi-Fi seems like it's messed up too. Is your Wi-Fi messed up too,
It
Prince?
is?
Oh, Lord.
I hope not.
What's your name and who are you, young man? And you got 3
My name is
minutes.
Prince. My name is
You can come back
Prince.
later though, but you got 3 minutes right now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, my name is
Yes.
Prince, and I'm an ex-participant from Life Camp as well. I was like probably your oldest participant. You know, outreach worker, violence interrupter, supervisor, hospital responder, associate director, and now I'm an engineer with the Citizen app. I build the radios for the Citizen app, and I do the mapping for the entire world right now. I just want to say thank you to Life Camp for playing an intricate part in my life. You know, I'm one that came from South Jamaica who spent half his life in prison, and Erica Ford gave me a shot and an opportunity to prove that I wasn't just a shooter, that I was actually a shooter, one that could shoot for the stars. And I'm thankful, and I definitely will be donating today because it was Life Camp that played the part and gave me the opportunity to be able to donate. So here I am, young black engineer. We're actually one of the top startup companies in the city right now. So shout out to Erica Ford and everything you've done for the youth in our community.
Salute to you for going the distance, bro. You transformed into a fine young man. You went through a lot of stages. And so how important is giving young people, investing in young people? Because you, I think, are one of the first people I heard with that statement about they're not under whatever. What do you say? They under resourced or something like that?
They're not high risk. They're under resourced. You know, and I I think high risk, it dehumanizes them, and we look at them as not human, and we're able to objectify them. So it's easy for us to kill them. You know what I'm saying? If you objectify a person, you call a person a nigger, or you call a person a name, or it's easy for you to hurt them because you don't look at them as a human, you look at them as an object. When you start to humanize them and know that they're under resourced, and we start to give them resources to them, because when you take the gun out of their hand, you got to put something else in their hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You got to put an opportunity in their hand. You know what I mean? And sometimes people are like, yo, we need a second chance. We haven't got a first chance. So Life Camp gives you your first chance, not the second chance. We're giving you the first chance.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So when I got my first chance, I took advantage of it, and the rest is history. So we can't objectify them and call them high risk youth. They're under resourced. And with resources, they become kings.
Yes, and we've seen it. Here's one right here. What happened in your life tell us about where you started? Like what are some of the things that happened to you? Like where did you go for a long period of time? Like what?
So I was born in a household where my father was addicted to heroin, in an abusive household. I grew up in South Jamaica, Queens, where I was shot. I was shot first when I was 15. Then I was shot again first, let me tell you, when I got shot first, I wanted to get shot because all my friends got shot, and it was like a cool thing. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't wait till I got shot to get my credibility in the street. You know what I'm saying? And I got shot the first time. Then I was cool. I got shot in my foot. But I was like, damn, I ain't get shot enough. Like I only got shot in my foot. Then when I got shot the second time in my back and in my shoulder, I was like, okay, God, that's too much shooting for me. I don't want to be shot no more. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that situation led me to taking someone's life. You know, I took someone's life, and I ended up spending half of my life in prison. You know what I mean? And while I was in prison, I went to prison uneducated. And when I was in prison, I got my education. And now, as you know, Erica, I'm 2 degrees away from being a doctor. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? With this epidemic and all this other stuff that's happening, it slowed down my education. But I've been taking like coding classes, free coding classes and stuff like that to enhance my skill in the company that I'm in now. You know what I mean? But my ultimate goal is being a doctor and being the youth specialist. I want to be able to inspire the youth, and not just South Jamaica, but all across the country, so they could do better things and bigger things. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you always told me, like, just because you're alive don't mean you're living. I want to live. I just don't want to be alive. You know what I'm saying? I want to live. You know what I'm saying? And as a
Right
black man
on, right
today in
on.
America, I'm scared. I'm scared right now. You know what I
Well, we
mean?
here to give
It's
you
hard
hope.
to live.
We're gonna continue to help you to live. You've been doing a good job, and you helping a lot of other people to live. And hopefully we'll see you later again. Come back on. Thank you for always, because I want to talk to you about Citizen later on. So come back later on. All right.
Yeah, well, we got some work. We got some serious work we're doing, but I'll try to fit you in my schedule. I love you, man.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. We 24 hours, bro. We 24 hours. So you can come 2
I'm
o'clock in
hitting.
the morning.
Hit the when you get off. When you get on, hit that donate button. I'm hitting it right now.
All right.
Right
Thank
now.
you, King. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Peace.
you. Prince is a gem. When you invest, he came to me and he asked me to give him a chance. And I gave him a chance. And giving young people who come home from jail, sometimes they don't want you to give them a chance, they set everything up to not. But we built a program to make sure that folks who are coming home from jail have a place to go to work. It's about to what? It's about to what? It's
Go
about to
down, baby. Yes, Auntie. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning,
Simility Davis
Queen.
in the building.
No doubt. The Queen from Queens.
Mm. Yes, so
Talk
I
to
love this. I love what you're doing. I love this. Our kids need it so much. So this is dope.
Yo, they need it. They just killed 2 out here. The police killed 1 in Brooklyn. It's just, we gotta show how to be, and you, just like the brother was talking before, Prince, that giving a little extra time and investing in young people, and especially folks who have a bump in their road, giving them an opportunity to come back home and do something positive. How important is that?
No, it's
Tell us who you
every,
are, first of all. Who are
okay.
you? And
So I'm Jamility Davis. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm an activist. I'm a television personality now. And I came home 3 years ago. Actually, June 1st marked my 3-year anniversary from serving a 12
oh,
and a half year sentence in federal prison for
right
bank
on.
fraud. And pretty much, I came home on a mission, kind of similar to the brother that was on before. When you walk, like making bad decisions based on culture. And I kind of did that too. So I really related to the brother talking about like, yo, he wanted to be shot. Now I never heard it quite like that before, but at the end of the day, I went to get that bag. I went to get to that bread, and I was willing to do so by any means necessary, and got jammed up. And getting jammed up took a whole decade away from my life. And sitting behind bars, I realized how I was lied to. Like my culture told me this was cool, do this, you're gonna be good. But culture didn't tell me that this could take away a decade of my life. So I came home on a purpose, and just basically to empower, especially our youth, not to make poor choices that could lead
Right.
to the consequences that I face. So I love what you're doing, Erica, and I'm all in support and all on board with this, because our children need to know the truth and the correct
Yes.
way to do things and how to get
Yes.
to the bag legitly so that they can
Yes.
keep it. How
Yes.
about that?
Yes. 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 And we doing this to give young people this summer an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to work and get paid. And that's something you do. Like, I don't even know how you do it. You be in Jersey 1 hour, Connecticut the other hour, Brooklyn 1 hour, Queens the other. How do you do it, yo?
Listen, it's God, but I'm coming to Queens. So check this out. You know what I'm saying? Once you line everything up for them kids, I'm going to empower them. I was grateful to be a part of a couple of different programs. One that we did with GMAC, where Yandy and myself, Yandy Smith is my partner. We basically helped children get $1,500 to start their own business. We did that for over 50 kids, and it was life-changing, y'all. Like, when kids get skill sets, first of all, the first thing it does is it boosts their confidence.
Correct.
Our kids with that type of confidence, they're now equipped to go out and conquer. So I love what you're doing, because once you supply these kids with these skill sets and they learn their gifts and talents, and we help them tap into something other than negativity, that's going to take them to a whole nother level. So this is life changing right here.
And this is how, just so folks can know, this is how we work. We all have a different job. We all work together. We all have a different job. My job is to raise the money. That's my job. And so that's why we're doing this 24-hour live. You know, Tamika's job is to get the word out, to build a brand, to do things. We got the other brothers, AT, and all of those other brothers are on the front line, working with those formerly incarcerated men and women, training them, putting them out there, doing interventions. There's other people that's doing the accountants. There's other people, like we have a sister right here. She's on social media right now as we speak. Everybody has a different job. We don't compete with each other.
You got to tell them this. But when we come together, we form Voltron, baby. It's Voltron. You feel me? So we got legs, we got arms, we got helmets, we got caps, we got feet, and we got charms. Because y'all also a part of our movement. So this is the time where you could really help us. A lot of y'all been asking, like, yo, what can I do? Yo, I want to make a difference. Yo, this is how you make a difference. Give to reputable organizations that's out here really doing the work. Give and support that. And know that your dollar helped to change somebody's life, for real, and make somebody's future brighter. That's what it's all about.
And all of the, and I see my brother CJ, he does the boxing. He's going to be training people. Like this summer, we have it lined up for like all the organizations, their young people is who's going to be in these programs. This is not just about Life Camp, you know, and we got some good people that's going to be coming on later on. The one who's like Jada Pinkett, Lauren London connected us with Jada Pinkett, and you know, both of them, they want to bring the Peace Mobile to California.
I love it.
And so, you know, Jamila, we got to go over there and do everything that we're doing here over there. You know, we got Slow Bucks and Wallow and Trey Bean and Fat Joe and Jim Jones and Mano. And all of them coming on later to talk to these brothers about, we got to take a ceasefire. We got to put them guns down right now. Because we can't be shooting at each other in the midst of us trying to stop the police from killing us.
That's crazy.
We worried about whether you going to kill us. Like, we can't do that.
Yes, Queen. So I love your movement. I'm 100% You right. You right, sis. Let me get that right. Our movement, right? The Voltron movement, guys. I just love my sister, though, and I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. I love you. I support everything that you're doing. And y'all, like, donate. Not only do I want you to donate, I'm giving you a charge. This live is going on for 24 hours. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because you might not have the money right now, but then you might have the influence. Put up a post. Let folks know to come by. Let them know what's happening here in our city and how we're giving it up and what we're doing. And come on, support the cause, y'all. We need you.
Facts. Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
No problem.
I love you.
I love you too. I'll jump back in to check you on out later on, okay, guys?
Yeah, late tonight when we get in a conversation with, or you can pop up. You know, I'm down to below. You can pop up too, you know.
Okay, that's what's up. So I love you, Erica. Have a great day.
Thanks. Stay safe.
All right. Bye.
Take care.
All right.
We got to keep this growing and going. You know, Jamila Davis doing some phenomenal work with Yandy. Yandy's going to be on here later on as well. Goldie, I see you. CJ, I see you. CJ, and you know, it's cold. He saw me put on my hoodie and said, is it cold outside? Rachel, what's up? I see you. Michelle, let's do this again. We got 20 minutes. Thank you, Jamila. Let's just keep this going. We got 24 hours. We here for 24 hours. 24 hours. So I'm trying to do like Russell said. Russell said he don't eat till 12:30. He drinks liquid. So I'm doing my master herbal tea. And then we're going to have something to eat at 12. Let's get him. True. What up, True? How you doing? How's everybody this morning? Jamila Davis, I love her. Yep, because she's a phenomenal black queen. Michelle, what's happened to your Wi-Fi? Your Wi-Fi still not working? But like we were saying, that's another thing that we need to probably help young people with. They got their Wi-Fi is not working. They trying to do the online school. They falling behind. So we need people to mentor young people so that we can help them stay up to par with their school stuff because they're not staying up to par. So you see this, Jada? This is hitting this button is an issue sometimes. Parole needs to be reduced. Parole needs to get out of here, yo. Parole is the worst. Okay.
I think I'm back. I think I'm good now.
Good.
I think I'm good now. Good morning, everybody.
Yes. So you came. So when did you come to Life Camp? What year was that? And how old were you?
Probably 04, 03, 04. I was exposed to Erica Ford from August Martin. She got very involved
You gotta take. So we need to get you one of these rags so that you can clean the front of your camera. You do like just wipe the front.
Erica, look, I got a glare behind me. I'm working. You got me late for work. trying to get in here with you.
Oh, right. You home working now, right?
Working from home. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
But it's very powerful. I plan to be online all day with you guys. Just hearing, all of this inspiration and donating and sending it to all my friends so that they could donate it too. And it's very important. I'm waking up my young black king so he can do his remote learning,
Yes,
and
he looks very happy to be up.
Right, exactly. But it's very important, and I had to educate him while still trying to keep him innocent. But I had to educate him about what's going on in the world, and it's saddening, but it's the reality that we're living in. So the more he knows, the more he's aware and prepared to take on any obstacles that come. So I think that the work that you're doing is phenomenal, and I'm gonna forever be a part of life for life. Right. I'm not an ex-member or anything like that. I'm down for life. So
there's a young lady. There's a young lady here who keeps telling us that we met her in the police station because of somebody else.
Who? Who's that? Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but in my younger days, I was involved in a fight, and it got pretty hectic. And Erica Ford was there to bail some people out, that weren't even involved in the fight, but they were just there supporting me. And, Erica Ford has always been there for us. Always.
And that's kind of what's happening to a lot of the protesters now. Like, they're getting arrested for just being in the place.
Right.
And so, and to the young girls, right? Because you said, honestly, too, in your younger days, but there's still that going on. What do you say to these young girls? What kind of love can you give to these young girls to let them know that she was whack, or was it whack?
Yeah, it is. It's completely. It's very whack. And as I grew older and got closer to God, it's just innate in me to lead from love now. And the aggression, the encounters are always going to come where your adrenaline is rushing and the aggression wants to speak first, but you have to operate out of love. You have to operate out of love, especially for your own, you know? And if everyone did that, we
Right.
wouldn't be where we are right now in the world with,
Right.
with everyone, you know, all of this hate. We have
Yeah.
to lead by love. And
Yeah.
that's why your movement, your peace truck, your peace mobile, it's all important. It all plays a role.
Yeah.
And we have to do the work internally, right here,
Right. Right.
right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the whole change is going to come from, you know?
Thank you, beautiful. Go take care of your young king.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you. I'm
We're
on
proud of
live. I
you.
already sent in my donation.
I
Listen,
saw that. Thank
donate.
you. Thank you so much.
Donate, please. All right. Love you,
Love
Erica.
you. Get these young people who came through the ranks to come through and show love, support, shout us out. About to bring on this person. He's been with me my the entire leg of my race. He's been with me. He's you know, as they say, he got a lot of charges if you need Jada.
Okay.
We got young Jada over here.
Peace, everybody.
She's social distancing. She's holding us down on, you know, just making sure that I'm on point. Reek says, thank you for your donation. Candina or Can Diana 77. Thank you for your donation. Gabrielle, thank you for your donation. Karul Lead Riot. Crew Lead Riot, thank you for your donation. Sherry Amore, thank you for your donation. Gabrielle, thank you for your donation. Chedang, thank you for your donation. Bean Juster, thank you for your donation. Thick Chick Scott, thank you for your donation. I Need Faree, thank you for your donation. Maria, thank you for your donation. Thank you all for your donation. Let's support. We're here for 24 hours. This is 24 hours, 24-hour live for love. So we want to give love to our young people. We want to help them out. And support what they're doing. The DOE didn't supply enough working computers for the students, no, and they don't have Wi-Fi. Some kids don't have Wi-Fi, and so they're saying, like, they said that they get free Wi-Fi, but then some kids, who is next? Erica?
Tiffany Caban.
Okay, because I see Erica. Okay. Yeah, so Erica, I'm gonna bring you on down because you're here. All right, I see you. Erica from Be More. From Be More. We had the brother from Ohio this morning. We had Kentucky. No. Louisville, Kentucky. And we're going to bring our sister from Baltimore, Erica, from Be More, if she comes on. It's not her. $1,000. We reached $1,000. 33 donors. Let's go. I'm not ready. All right. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. You know, I see you in the party. We got you later. But our sister from Ceasefire, Baltimore. It's 4 hours? No, 4 hours is 10 o'clock. Who said that? Akeem? Yeah, we got 4 hours. So, thank you, Instagram, for extending our Instagram for 4 hours cuts. Thank you so much for the support. The fro looking good. Thank you. We here for 24 hours. Let's make sure the fro look good. We 3 hours in. We 2 hours and 50 minutes in. We need a thermometer. We also got $1,000 donation from Ebro. I need a thermometer picture, back end team, so that I can put up here, you know, and I can put the picture up for a little while, or we can zoom in. Maybe we can set up the TV downstairs so we can set the thermometer up, or the computer right there, and so that we can just zoom into the computer and see, so folks can see where we are at the fundraiser and the goals a little later. Thank you all. Just Keep tell a friend and tell a friend that we're here for 24 hours, live for love. We got Jada Pinkett coming on. We got this Jada right here is going to print out the list. Yeah. The printer is right over there, and she's going to print out the list so that I can tell y'all the right people that's going to be here. I'm going to go over here and look at the list on the wall and tell y'all who's going to be here. Who's making breakfast? Who's cooking breakfast? Jada came with her 2 long hands. So we got Fat Joe, we got Jada Pinkett, we got Rhapsody, we had Russell Simmons, we got Angie Martinez, we got David Hogg. So
we're gonna go off and save it.
Oh, we're gonna, okay. All right, so I'm gonna yeah, you hit deny real fast. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna end. The boss is telling me that we're gonna end this, and I'm gonna come right back. So come right back with me. All right.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. All right. Thought you was eating till 12. I'm not eating till 12:30, but I still need somebody to have the food ready. All right. I'll be right back. 9 o'clock. We're gonna just go off and come right back.